What's up, y'all? It has been quite a minute. So here we are before you with the amazing, the lovely Taron Flood.
I don't know about all that, but okay.
Yeah. So it always takes what happens to me when I do these, it's like we're always like having this conversation before hitting record, and it's always like the good, juicy, like catch up. So I just wanted to make
Yeah,
sure that any juice, any tea is felt live.
we love it.
What's going on? How have you been?
I'm good, just like, enjoying kind of, I feel like I'm like a bachelor now in a way
Mm-hmm.
that I've probably never been, or at least maybe, yeah, I guess never. I don't know, like Nyan, um, he's a college freshman now and he just moved out. Slash, I guess it's like 8 weeks now. It seems like it was just yesterday. Although it seems like it's like 8 years have passed.
Exactly. It's like yesterday, but in my mind, it's like he's already been there for like a year.
Yeah. Somebody asked me the other day, they were like, is he a sophomore? I was like, wait, what? He's like barely a freshman. He
That's
just started.
Oh, I love it. And yeah, to me, like witnessing you, you are definitely entering like bachelorhood for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
Which
And
is
it feels good. I mean, it's a little bit overwhelming, just because like it's like I have all these ideas and plans and things, and it's just like, where do I start? So it's been kind of like not a struggle, but like a challenge to just kind of like find the starting point, And I really had to like take some time to just like step back and reflect, like, and not really rush myself too, because
I love that.
that's kind of what we do in life. We always like rush ourselves and put all
Me
these like unnecessary pressures.
so
You know.
unnecessary. Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like that's very Virgo of you to
It
lean
is.
to nurturing yourself or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. To wait, what? To what?
So like nurture yourself.
Yeah, for sure. For
Right? Is
sure.
that
Mhm.
like a Virgo thing? I mean, I know that's like a Cancer thing too, but I
Oh,
feel
word. Okay.
like I feel like Virgo because I have a moon in Virgo. And
Are
so
you serious? I did not know that.
talked about this? Wait,
No,
okay, first of all, wait. I mean, I should totally know this about you, but what's like your rising and your moon and all that? Like,
so so which one is in the middle?
mm.
Is that the moon?
So okay, so it's the first is the sun, obviously, which is
Yeah.
Virgo.
Mhm.
In the middle, like what you're indicating as middle, I
Like
want
the
to
moon. Like I know that's like the so I think my moon is Gemini because I know I always say I'm a double Virgo, but like I
so your
know
rising sign is Virgo if you're a double Virgo.
the what?
So your rising sign must be Virgo if you're a double.
Yeah. Right, exactly that. Yeah. So
So
my rising is Virgo.
double Earth and Moon and
Gemini.
Gemini. Very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
What's that like?
I don't know. You tell me. Because like you're a Gemini.
I
So
know, but it's like it's so interesting. So I'm deeply, you know me, I love all the like witchy woo. Like I'm
Mhm.
into astrology, into tarot, into like dream work, spell work, magic, the whole thing.
Mhm.
But astrology for me, it's like I know about it and I dig deep into the rabbit hole of it, but when I
Yeah.
dig deep, it's very specific to
Do
my
you?
personal
Yeah, for sure.
so yeah.
I don't know a lot about Gemini. Actually, I don't know anything about Gemini. My mom's a Gemini, actually.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know what my moon being a Gemini actually means, but
Yeah.
it means something, I guess.
So, but I think like parents, just like how we don't really see our parents as like people,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
maybe until like you get much older.
Mhm.
I feel like that corresponds to like why you don't pick up. Like to me, both of my parents are Pisces, but I'm like, I don't know, like what does Pisces mean? Like I have like a sense of like what Pisces could mean just through
Yeah.
like, looking it up. And like once you start doing like the deep dive in your own natal chart,
Mhm.
find that you have like most I mean, technically, we always have all representations of the zodiac reflected in
Yeah.
the chart.
Mhm.
but sometimes you'll just, yeah, there'll be like certain signs that are more prominent.
Yeah. Mhm.
Pisces is like not a prominent sign in my chart at all.
So neither in mine. I don't think I haven't looked at my whole chart in a minute, but
Mhm.
like Virgo, Pisces, there's like this kind of like circle chart where like they're all kind of like like laid out in a circle, and you can if you fold the circle,
Yeah,
two signs always match up perfectly together, or
I
perfectly, that's
see.
the wrong word. And
Yeah.
so it's Virgo Pisces, which
Okay. Yeah.
which I discovered only very recently, like maybe 6 months ago.
Okay. That's
And like
interesting.
I was meeting all these Pisces, and this one dude I met last year, he was all like, yeah, like Virgos are like the Virgo Pisces like had this like really intense connection. I was like, really? But like, I don't know if that's really the case
I
still, having met many, but like,
But to
yeah,
me, it's like we're so much more than just like our sun signs. Like to me,
yeah.
that's just scratching the surface. And like once you
Mhm.
really dig down that rabbit hole, it's like deeply fascinating. And it's just like, I don't know, it gives me chills sometimes, like reading about it. Like when you really get to the meat of it, like not
Yeah.
like surfacey stuff or whatever, but
Mhm.
when you really get to the marrow.
Yeah. I wanna do my like I a friend of mine did like a life reading like many, many years ago, which I don't really know what that is, but like it
Like
sounded really
numerology?
interesting. I think it was like a psychic who did it, but yeah, I guess it was like astrological as well. But
Oh, okay. Like as someone who was like intuitive, just sort of like tapping into like what
yeah, like a psychic, some random psychic did
okay.
it for my friend.
I'm
And it
here
was
for the
like
psychic.
revelatory and everything, all the things. Yeah.
So it had a deep impact on them? Yeah.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, this is literally like probably 15-ish plus years ago, but
Uh, have you
yeah.
have you ever had a reading?
Mm-mm. No.
Is it something that has ever interested in you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think just kind of as a Virgo, I'm always wanting to know like everything,
Mhm.
whether it's about myself or
I think
whom
that's the
or
Gemini in you, though. That's
Oh, really? Okay, there you go.
here.
We figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I just kind of always want to like know things, and also just improve. Um,
Yeah. That's very
so
personal. Sorry.
yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, like improving myself. And also I really believe that like the more we know about just our general environment or like our friends or just people around us, obviously like friends, like
Mhm.
the more we can like improve ourselves.
Yeah.
Like having an understanding of like just everything around you kind of helps me at least understand myself. Do you know what I mean? It's like learning a language.
It literally,
Like,
that's a good
I
way.
didn't I didn't really understand English until I learned French and German. Do you know
Mm,
what I mean? Like grammatically, like, we grew up speaking English or you grew up speaking whatever language you speak. And then you're just like speaking without kind of like any real awareness of the language. And then when you learn another language, like sort of academically, structurally, strategically, you put everything together and it's like, oh wow, this is how that functions in my own language. Do you know what I mean? So yeah,
maybe.
it's kind of like the same thing. Like the more I know about everything else kind of surrounding me, like
Mhm.
the more I know myself.
I love that. It's almost like it gives you external perspective. Because
Exactly. Yeah.
language analogy, yeah, like you grow up in the language. Like you're not thinking outside of English because you're like
Yeah.
in English
Mhm.
and thinking
Yeah,
the language. It kind of puts you outside of like that native.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
like you have this bird's eye view of, your language.
First of all, I love a bird's eye view.
Right.
That's what I've been channeling. I'm like, give me this bird's eye view so I can like get up out of the shenanigans,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
distractions of
Mhm.
regular life. Which I mean, not to shade like mundane life, because shit's got to get done.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think the bird's eye view, it keeps you like on track and it keeps you yeah, like dreaming big. I mean, not to sound
Yeah.
big,
Mhm.
but I think that
Mhm.
helps.
I feel like that's a Gemini thing. Like this the whole big dreams, dreaming big, thinking big, etc. Is that correct? Like is that a Gemini thing?
Okay, so I think so. The interesting thing about astrology I think any and everything could be a thing for a sign, you know, when you
Yeah.
dig
Mm,
down into it. And then again, going back to like really dissecting your chart, it's like you
mhm.
have all these kinds of things to work with, but the signs give it a certain kind of flavor. So
Yeah.
of like dreaming big and like ambition will look different in like a Sagittarius. Where in
Sure.
Sagittarius is like
Mm.
the opposite sign of Gemini. So just like Pisces is a
Oh,
sign to Virgo, like on the
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Mm.
Sagittarius and Gemini is. Yeah, like with Gemini, I mean, just speaking personally, like how I feel about my connection to like ambition, it's like it feels more like flowy,
Hmm.
like just kind of like deep, but yet like a light touch too. Like I know for me, in terms of like accomplishing things, like I'm not interested in like digging, digging in the trench, you know, like that's like not, I don't thirst for that,
Yeah.
you know, to get, and I think that there are people who are just like, yes, like, you know, let me just kind of pound the pavement and maybe that gives them like kind of drive. Like
Yeah,
that
for sure.
does not give me drive. Like I'm like, no. Is that to me that I feel like sort of like ragged when I do
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
a lot of
Mm,
people feel that way. But yeah, like there's something about just this like lightness of like what is it? Like high, there's like an expression that I kind of work with when I meditate. It's like big impact but like low maintenance, or like big impact with like a light touch,
yeah.
basically.
Mm,
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's kind of I remember once I was in New York, while I was still living in Berlin, I was visiting and I saw you and you were talking about just working smarter. It's
Mm,
kind of like that, right? Like the same idea of just like having
yeah.
a huge impact, but like doing it in the most efficient way, which is like the lowest amount of effort, essentially. I mean, efficiency means like low effort, essentially, you know? So yeah, no, I totally get that. And that's kind of what we should all, but I know, I think people kind of like really kind of, get to the point where they want to like kind of be busy and like have all these things on their plate so they can feel something. Cause I think people are so often or so frequently not feeling anything. So they feel through like these meaningless tasks that they do. And it's just like, no, that's not how we should live. Let's feel our feelings.
Right. Yeah, no, it's true. But I think going
Yeah.
back to that bird's eye view, that's like where that can really be helpful to kind of like
Yeah,
literally pull you out of the weeds or pull you out of that trench.
for sure. Yeah, yeah. And that's tough for folks. Yeah. I mean, it's tough for me sometimes even, I guess, but not really.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely still go through that, but when I find like I'm getting kind of like bogged down and I feel like I'm getting low or whatever,
Mhm.
yeah, I definitely yeah, I tap into that air sign. You know, I tap
Yeah.
into like, you know, that's like why, you know, I love meditating. So and when I say meditating, it's not like sitting cross-legged for like 45 minutes. Like I'm not,
Yeah.
literally it could be 5 minutes and I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
sure. Mm.
just to
I
help.
don't, how do you meditate?
So I have different ways. So in the morning, you know, after I meditate in the shower, like I do like a whole chakra cleanse in the shower. And it's very,
Yeah.
you know, just like imagining, you know, the different chakras from like the root. I mean, depending upon how many chakras you think that exist, which I mean,
Hmm.
I think that there's like tons, but then there's
Hmm.
like the seven traditional chakras, but I include like at least two other chakras to that, which is like the Earth Star chakra, which
Okay.
connects you to like the earth. And then after that is your root chakra, then sacral, then solar plexus, and up and up and up. So
Hmm.
so I'll do that like in the shower, like kind of like a quick cleanse. And then you know, when I'm dressed and stuff, I have an altar and then I'll just sit for a bit. And sometimes maybe I need to do it for longer, or other times it's just like more instant, where I'm literally kind of closing my eyes just for like a little bit and just like getting into this feeling of where I feel light.
Hmm.
I feel as light as possible,
Yeah.
you know? And I think now I'm learning to accept that that can happen quicker than what I feel like it should, if that makes sense. Because I think that there's this thinking behind like meditation and like occult practices or whatever, that you have to like spend hours doing this.
Yeah,
I
right.
think maybe when you're first starting, what to me it's like whatever works for you, whatever fits in your practice of like discipline, and
Mhm.
it's something that you can be consistent with. Like for me, I couldn't consistently meditate for 45 minutes like a day. Like
Yeah, I would lose it.
yeah, yeah, but
Yeah.
for some people they can, and that's like a big part of their practice. But for me, what I can do is like, yes, I can commit to maybe like 10 minutes a day, if that, but at
Okay.
least the point is just like doing it every day. And then that is like my anchoring for doing my readings. So I do readings
Okay.
from like every morning. And then that is like a meditative practice too. Cause then when I like pull the cards and then I see the cards, I kind of like imagine myself inside the card. And then it's like this
Yeah, right.
trippy
I
psychedelic.
want I've always wanted to like I've tried to start a couple of times meditation over the last, many years.
Yeah.
And I never have success because I know it's not about turning our brains or our thoughts off. But
Mhm.
for some reason, that's what I always want to achieve. And I know it's not about that, but like somehow I think that that's how it should happen for me. But I just can't. And so I can't get past not being able to do that, even though I know I shouldn't. But yeah.
So maybe that kind of meditation, maybe that's like not for you in this moment.
Mm.
I could like
Mhm.
meditating and like washing dishes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
walking in a park or something. And
Mhm.
sort of like, I mean, I'm not closing my eyes, obviously, but I don't think you have to like close your eyes to meditate.
Yeah.
I think it's
Maybe
more,
that's what I should find, like sort of find out what is meditative or what meditation means for myself, and then sort
yeah.
of just incorporate it in my whatever, my daily kind of, doings.
The time, I feel like if any time, seems like an opportune time to,
No, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. It's kind of like part of the whole transformation. I feel like I don't know if I ever told you this. I probably did though, but like back in 2018, I just entered into this really this period of like really deep, intense transformation, which hasn't ended, thankfully. I don't think it should ever end. I think we should always transform and progress and evolve. So yeah, I mean, this could be like part of my part of like this moment of transformation, like me sort of embracing or finding and discovering kind of like what meditation means for me. So
yeah. Let's think about 2018. What was going on in 2018? Huh. And what's the numerology? I'm into numerology too.
uh-huh.
Like
Yeah.
it's kind of like astrology with me, where I know my like numerology chart and I kind of dig deep into those numbers. So there's certain numbers that I know more about than others.
Mhm.
What's the numerology of 2018? It's
I would be interested in knowing that.
yeah, so all it is, it's just 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 8. So
Okay.
plus 1,
It's
3,
11.
11. Yeah. And that's like that's a big, powerful number. 11.
Yeah, for sure. I never realized those numbers. I mean, I never knew anything about numerology, but like it's so crazy that they equal 11 because I mean, I know that 11 is like this kind of number, right? That like
That's like a make a wish number,
yeah, like 1111 or something.
by the
Oh,
way.
cool. That like gives me the whole because 2018 was like the most it was not only my favorite year ever, but it was like the most transformative year of my life. It was like the year that I entered, like I said, like this intense period of transformation, which has not ceased, which frankly won't ever cease. So
I mean, you don't have to answer this, but if you feel like you want to, what triggered it? Or do you even know what triggered it?
I don't know what triggered it. I so I mean, I feel like the way I would answer that is so banal, but like basically, and I hate to like give what I'm about to say, I hate to give it like that kind of power because I don't think it was that the particular trigger, which I'm going to say, because I think it was just coincidence. But basically, I had this job, I hated it. It was like this advertising agency in Berlin.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was horrible. And so they were going on this like retreat to Venice. I
Mm.
was like, I'm not going to Venice. I love Venice. It's like one of my favorite places in the world. I'm not going with these horrible people.
Oh, I go for Venice for
And
me.
so I woke up that morning and I was like, I'm sick. I'm not coming. I'm not coming to the airport. You guys have fun, you know? And yeah, and like I again, it was really banal, but like for somehow it made me kind of remember or realize that like I had agency or something. Maybe I had forgotten that I had agency and that I could like make my own decisions no matter what the consequence would or could or should be. And I
Yeah.
and that and it just sort of like propelled me into this period of like, I got this. You know, like I can really design how I live, you know, and how I want to live. And again, like I hate to like sort of correlate my deep, incredible transformation with like some horrible job, but like,
Thing though, I feel like things that annoy the hell out of you
mhm,
and frustrate you, it's just like an annoying itch
mhm.
that just after a while you're like, okay, no, I'm
Uh,
for this, you know. And maybe it's not just about the itch, like there's other things happening in you alongside it, but
mhm,
like
mhm.
it just breaks through that surface.
Exactly. And you know what else I did that weekend?
What?
I got my ear pierced that
Oh,
weekend.
very good choice.
Not with this one. This is new. But like I got my ear pierced that weekend because I was like, you know what? I'm in Berlin, you know, like I just made this crazy decision that could get me fired. And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get my ear pierced, you know? And I did. And it was like the best, it was really, really like the best time. But actually, like the transformation, when I really look back, it started before then. But
Mhm.
like it was at that moment where I realized that I was in this really intense period of change and evolution, you know? And yeah, it was a real special time. And, you know, of course I was in that relationship at the time with crazy Italian. Not crazy, because I was not crazy at all. He wasn't a crazy person.
No,
Um,
but it was
but
just it was intense.
it was an intense relationship of like love, and yeah, it was frankly my first experience of love, you know, which I've shared with you on many an occasion. And
I
it's
don't
funny, like lately I've been thinking about this a lot, 'cause it's like, damn, like will I ever have that again? Like even though it was a crazy situation, it was real love. It was real, true, pure love, like on both sides, you know. And I have been wondering, like, damn, will I have this again?
yeah.
Just because the stock of men in DC is so abysmally bad, you know, and it's just like, why are all of y'all so whack? How I know how are all of y'all so whack? How? Not why, but how, you know?
I was definitely gonna ask you about dating. So the wild thing is
Oh,
I like it's just giving dry, lame.
girl, it is. Listen, I don't even know how to describe it anymore because it's just so, yeah, it's a lot. I mean, everyone is so like my favorite word is incurious, you know, where you just don't like, you just don't have any curiosity about the world around you, you know, besides your dumb job where you're like doing things that like aren't impacting the world, you know, like, and like, so yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words now because I'm thinking about these things all the time and I'm like, I don't even articulate them. But yeah, it's just people are just so and I just want people to ask me questions and I
Yeah.
want to share.
Do you think
Um,
they're intimidated? I'm just throwing that out there.
pardon?
They're intimidated?
I don't want to believe that. Probably when I first moved back to the States, I probably did think that,
Okay.
but I don't know if I was just like if it was just my ego, you know.
Mm.
But yeah, I think I mean, if I'm honest, I think maybe sometimes, maybe not intimidated, but like, yeah, that's probably the word. You know, people might be somehow like, oh, this guy, he's like this gay black dad who's been an expatriate for like a humongous chunk of his life, and he's had all these experiences and stuff. Which to say that out loud, I'm just like, that's some cheesy shit. Like, I mean, to me, it's just cheesy because I'm like, for me, it's just my life, you know. But
Yeah.
like,
But when I say, I don't mean to be like, are they intimidated to like project it onto you? You know what I'm saying? But it's just like acknowledging, like, okay, yeah, people like really deal with their like insecurities, and it's like, and you don't want to deal with their insecurities, you know? But it's just like that awareness of like, okay, yeah, people be really having. I mean, I have, you know, definite battles with insecurities, but
Yeah, we all do. Yeah.
it's just dating world that gets tricky.
It does, yeah. Because, I think too, like people are just really afraid of being vulnerable, which is such a cliche thing to say, but it's so true, Like I I don't know, I'm just like, I'll tell you everything. Like, and it's not because I need you to marry me. No, I just kind of want to get to know you. And you know what? If I don't see you beyond tomorrow, that's also fine. But like, let's just open up a little bit. I think people are just so afraid to do that. And like,
I think you have always been really good at that, though. I think that's like a part of your wiring.
yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Then obviously, you know, as you like you've evolved as a person, like it's even
Mhm.
more, but I think that that always existed in your like infrastructure as like a person.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Yeah. And yeah, people just don't, I don't know, but like,
Say that there aren't people like that. And you're so
yeah.
right about like vulnerability. Like even
Hmm.
yeah, that word gets thrown around a lot. It's really deep. Like to
Hmm.
feel like emotionally vulnerable and raw in a relationship can be a really scary place.
Yeah. No,
A lot
straight up. Mhm.
haven't allowed themselves to
Mhm.
experience it for whatever reason. Maybe they've had relationships, but it just didn't reach that point where they could get to
Yeah.
that place. But
Mhm.
yeah, it changes a lot. Like it
Yeah.
shapes how you can. I think it is the foundation for finding that love, that enduring love, and not like in a fairy tale sense, but like in a real sense, you know, like the love where you're just like, okay, yeah, like we are going to commit to whatever coupling we want, whatever
Mhm.
it's like for you, but this is the like safe space to like have that. We can be
Yeah.
enough with each other to know that it's like not going to fall apart because we have
Yeah.
that.
Hmm. I mean, that's also something that yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just dating. It's just a lot, yo. And like, I don't even know if I date necessarily, but like, I mean, I do, but like,
Oh, okay. Wait, Taron.
yeah.
I I thought I updated Zoom to not cut me off, but it just gave me
Oh,
like a 10-minute warning, which is so annoying.
okay.
Okay, finish your thought though, and then we're gonna pull a card.
Yeah, no doubt.
Mhm.
Oh,
What
finish my thought.
are you
Oh,
on?
yeah. No, I don't know. Like dating is just so just to like close out that like topic, maybe kind of. It's just I don't know. I mean, I say that I want someone who like asks questions, but I guess also I just want like an interesting individual. And I feel like I remember my ex, the Italian. I used to always describe him as being interesting and edgy, you
Uh-huh.
know? And I guess that's what I want, like someone who's both interesting and edgy, Because you
Yeah.
can you can be one or the other, but like, and I don't even know if I'm either. But like I just want for my partner to be both. You know what I'm saying?
What you like, you know, it's like what you're attracted to.
Yeah. So anyway, that's all I want. And I haven't found that yet. I do hope to find it in New York though.
And this New York, I mean, I think everywhere people always have something to say about the dating scene anywhere, you
Yeah.
know. Honestly, I just think it's just the state of affairs.
Mhm.
But as long as you have hope, which again sounds very rainbows and kitty cats, but
Yeah. Yeah.
just from speaking from personal experience,
Uh,
being in a relationship that rocked my core, like, you know,
mhm.
in a relationship that I had never,
Mhm.
like that type of relationship, I was like not in a relationship like that until then. And then
Yeah.
it fell apart. And that was just like deeply wounding. And I thought I was like never going to get over it, you know,
Mhm.
until I did. And now looking back on it, I'm so grateful for that relationship
Yeah.
because it broke me open in a way that if had I not been broken open in that way,
Mhm.
just it forced me to be vulnerable, which I was
Yeah. Mhm.
in my
Mhm.
relationship. relationships before that. Like,
Yeah.
not really. And if I hadn't experienced that, there's no way that I could be in the situation that I'm in now.
Yeah. For I totally get that. Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay,
Completely.
so I'm gonna pull a card.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, okay. So now this will require a little meditation. You can close your eyes, open them, whatever you want to do. I'm going to close my eyes. And I'm going to call in all your people, all the folks, your ancestors, all the like divine spirits that are on this like walk with you, cheering you on, giving you the signs and the nudges, and they want the best for you. They have that bird's eye picture um for you and with you. So they're surrounding you. And yeah, if there's anything, I mean, you could have a specific question in mind, or you could leave it broad, like, what do they want you to know, or whatever. But just think of it, kind of meditate on it, and imagine that it's going to be answered, and it's going to be perfect, and it's going to help you on your way. So I'm going to shuffle the cards 3 times. Oh my gosh.
Should I have my eyes open or closed now?
Whatever feels comfortable.
Yeah, I'll keep them closed, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. This is an interesting shuffle because one card just popped out, and usually
Uh-huh.
if a card pops out, I don't usually put it back in. And then like a whole chunk. Just which is like not usually what happens, but we'll see. I'm going to pull one card, and then the other card that popped out, I will use that as part of the reading too. So let's see. All right. So, oh wow. Okay. You know what? There's so many cards that popped out that I don't even. Okay. Let's just start with this card.
Yeah.
The 10 of Wands. So do you have any like familiarity of with tarot?
Not really. A friend of mine did a reading for me once, but like a few years ago.
Okay.
Mm.
So wands, so all of the in tarot there's four suits. There's wands, there's cups, there's pentacles, and then there's swords, and
Mm.
they represent like different elements. So
Yeah.
wands represents fire, swords represent air, pentacles represents earth, cups represents water. But to me,
Mm.
it's like there's so much more than that. Like there are these like historical references as it relates to each card, which I think is helpful to know when you're starting tarot.
Mm.
So you have like a foundation and a basis to refer to. But for me, the more and more that I pull the cards, I realize like how much of a language of symbolism, like a
Mm.
symbology that's reflected in the cards, and how those symbols connect to you personally in like different ways at different times in your life. And
Mm.
for me, when I pull this card, I think of like it's like endurance and almost like pushing towards like a finish line.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's blurry to you. Can you see it?
I can see it. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so you see that this person has these wands that they're like kind of hoisting over their shoulder.
Yeah.
And it's like this background, kind of like I can't remember if it's kind of like a cityscape or like a home, like a destination in the background that they're heading,
Yeah.
but they have like all this. It could be seen as weight,
Mhm.
um,
That's
or
what I thought when I first saw it, like a weight, but
weight.
also a weight toward like a burden, for lack of a better word, but towards something when I first saw it. So
Right, which can feel, if it's a burden towards something, then yeah, then maybe it doesn't necessarily feel wholly like a burden, if that
yeah,
makes
burden is the wrong word, but like something that you're kind of like putting all the pieces together of something, and
uh-huh.
then sort of pushing it to the end, or like sort of ushering it to the end. That's kind of what I thought when I saw this.
Which, in ushering it to the end, is like the perfect way of describing this
Yeah.
card, because it's a number 10, and tens in numerology are often endings. It's like wrapping
Right.
up some kind of cycle.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love that. That resonates actually a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I mean, there's a bunch of okay, so I'm gonna ignore the rest of the cards that like popped out because it's just like too many to like go over in the time that we
Yeah.
have. But the
Yeah.
next card after that, like there were three other cards that fell out, and the top card was actually another 10.
Oh, wow.
It is a 10 of cups.
Oh, that's kind of like celebratory, huh?
Totally celebratory. Again, it's a number 10, so it's like recognition of like some kind of ending that maybe
Yeah.
you can celebrate. You
Mhm.
know?
Does it have to be an ending though, or can it be like a finishing? Well, I
Yeah,
guess it's the same thing, but like
but like an ending, like meaning an ending that's heading you into like a new era,
yeah, right.
like an ending with the beginning, a finishing completion of like, you know, some kind of accomplishment,
Mhm.
maybe like
Yeah, yeah.
maybe in line with like the transfer. I mean, yeah, you're going to continue to transform,
Mhm.
but there's like different levels of transformation. So maybe
Yeah, no, totally. They both actually resonate very specifically, sorry, very specific to sort of things I'm working on right now. So yeah, that's awesome.
all right, child. It says like a minute and I'm gonna look into my Zoom, y'all, so I can get this sorted so that cut off so abruptly. But I'm gonna like cut it off for everyone, but then I'm gonna resend you a link so we can just like have a key
Yeah,
afterwards.
let's
Okay.
do it. Yeah, no doubt.
Thanks for tuning in.
Of course.
Bye.
Ciao. Bye.
Stop video. Okay. So I'm gonna share. Oh, okay.